Hi everybody, Dan here. I want to amend the welcome screencast with part two because I felt very rushed at the very end. And so let me begin by introducing my assistant. Will you say hi to the camera? He's a little camera shy. This is Sam. He likes to be involved in everything I do, so I just wanted you to meet him. Let us go back to your page, the home page for this course. And you'll see if I click on content, it's blank. Now, why is it blank? It's blank because week one has not begun if you are watching this before the class has begun. Same with discussion board. So I'm going to leave this page momentarily and go over these two areas again on my sheet. But again, on week one, you're going to see content and you're going to see discussions. We've already gone through the start here section, but I didn't spend much time on this. So remember I said there's 500 points possible. Here are the graded exercises. Please ignore the dates. I will update all these as I begin, but I wanted to make this course available to you conceptually before week one. So these dates are all from my previous online leadership course. Ignore the dates. They will be corrected. But you'll see on week one there's a graded exercise. And you'll see how many points it's worth when we go there. Then there's discussion forum. I don't begin the quizzes until week two because I'm assuming some of you may not have your book. So get your book because there will be quizzes beginning week two, and exercises and discussion forum. And this goes all the way. I know it looks like a lot, but it really isn't. About 3 items per week that you'll be graded on. All right, now remember when I said when you click content, right now you're not going to see anything. So let me take you to my page, and again we'll go to content. And you'll see everything is grayed out because they haven't loaded. Week one content will load on September 23rd, Monday at 1 a.m. And it'll be open throughout the 10 weeks. Week two content will load and be available to you a week later on the 30th, and so on. Everything flows out of content. So when I click content, you're going to see, and I went through this a little bit in the previous video, you're going to see the teaching tools or assessments that I put in there for that week. This is a YouTube video. It's a really cool one, very short. This is a screencast from me on chapter 1. Something from Colin Powell, very, very good, short but powerful. Another screencast, PowerPoint. A self-assessment that I'm going to ask you to do. And then look, it says, please go to discussion board. Everything flows from content. You don't have to go out of content and into discussion board. You simply click on this and you're going to see the assignment on discussion board. And then what do? Once you understand this assignment, you click on discussion board and you create a thread. Now, I've already done that when I hit testing, testing, testing. So you can either create a thread on your own. I'll click it. And you can title it and then blah, blah, blah here, although not blah, blah, blah. And then hit submit. Submit is off the screen, but you'll see it. Or you can respond to somebody. For example, I have put this in already, testing, testing, testing. But let's say that was a meaningful post. You can read read the post of any student, and this is what I want you to do. Engage in a conversation, reply to your classmates. Read it and then reply. Give your reply and then hit submit. This will all make sense to you once you get into the swim. But again, everything begins with content, which will load week by week. On the exercises, you will simply click this. It is a link, and it'll take you to a text box where you fill out your answer to this question. And again, you have on the exercises, or sometimes I call them assignments, you have 2 attempts. All right. Now I think I've kind of caught up with everything I wanted to tell you. Again, if you have any questions, the best way to, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put on discussion board, I'll put a separate forum for questions. And I'll be visiting this site daily. By the way, I recommend that you visit it daily, especially discussion board. Just get into the habit of coming here daily and you'll never fall behind. I'm not saying you have to spend forever on the site. Just check in daily, especially discussion board posts, and have a conversation. I'll post a forum on discussion board for general questions. I will answer your question because I'm on discussion board every morning, every afternoon, every night. But feel free, if somebody else knows the answer to the question, feel free to answer it. All right. I think that's it. Now, I wanted to introduce to you the books I've written on leadership. Again, you don't have to buy them, but I wanted to show them to you because I'm going to incorporate some of the experiences that I've been lucky enough to have with some very, very prominent leaders. I'm going to stand back a little bit so these things show. The first book is Semper Fi, Business Leadership, the Marine Corps Way. Now, you may think the Marine Corps is an unusual source for leadership as applied to private enterprise, but it's not. The challenges faced by military leaders are very, very similar to the challenges faced by you and I, managers and leaders in the private enterprise. For example, in the military, leaders must inspire and motivate people in unhappy slots. They have to deal with people who are making minimum wage. They have to deal with diversity. Diversity is a tremendous strength, but it can also be a challenge. And they have to manage that. They have to manage people from all walks of life, including backgrounds of failure. They have to persuade their people to win with the tools they have, not wait until the new edition comes out. Here I am wandering with this book. But anyway, you get the gist of it. Second one I did, these are all for the same publisher, Amicom, which is now HarperCollins, but they're the largest business book publisher in America. The second book I did is Deadline, How Premier Organizations Win the Race Against Time. And in this book, I profile 6 major deadlines from 6 different industries, including the first 777 designed by Boeing and delivered to United Airlines. And I interviewed and spent time with all of the executives on the Boeing steering team and their counterparts with United Airlines. I profiled the Broncos football stadium. I wanted to do various industries. I profiled a mission to Mars from JPL and NASA. I profiled a kidnap case. Talk about a drop-dead deadline. Your money or your life, or your money or the life of your loved one. And I interviewed FBI agents who specialize in kidnap cases. Anyway, I did 6 major deadlines, and I was very fortunate to find organizations that allowed a writer to go behind closed doors and then reveal to the world the secrets of deadline management. This is a crisis leadership book, and I think you'll find it interesting. Not that I'm suggesting you, don't get me wrong, you don't have to get the book, but I mean, I will include PowerPoints in content, and I think you'll find those interesting. This is my third one, Business Under Fire, How Israeli Companies Are Succeeding in the Face of Terror. And for this, I went to Israel and interviewed virtually every major business leader there and learned what you can do. It's a very small country. And learned how they are motivating and inspiring their people in the midst of an assault on their economy. Fortunately, that much of that has, calmed down over the years. But when I was there, it was pretty dicey, and there's a lot of crisis management, crisis leadership principles that I think will help illuminate the messages from our textbook. And then my publisher wanted me to go back to the FBI. I did one chapter on the FBI in the Deadline book. Here's a whole book devoted to management lessons learned from the FBI. From the bureau to the boardroom, 30 management lessons from the FBI. And that was a lot of fun to write. I also write an ongoing column in this magazine, Industrial Management, and the column is entitled 21st Century Management. I do this for the exposure because I can get writing gigs from the subscribers who read this magazine. Also, if you type my name in the online library for the University of Laverne, the Wilson Library, you'll see maybe 90 or 100 entries. All right, so anyway, I just wanted to mention all this because I really do find leadership to be a fascinating topic. And I hope to share with you some of the lessons I've learned from the experts that I've had the luck and good fortune to interview in these books. All right. I think this is good enough for welcome part 2. And then when we get to content, I'll do another screencast just to remind you of how everything flows from content. But I think you'll find this, once you get into the swim, very easy. Again, the secret to success in an online class is connectivity. Just be connected. Don't wait until the end of the week. Visit the site daily. Get into the swim. You'll find it fun. And you'll find that things do not pile up on you and become unmanageable. All right, thank you once again for your attention. And I'll see you week 1 in the content folder. All right, bye-bye now.